Greetings, class. This is Professor Bold with Practice 3, 3306, and I'm going to very quickly review Module 8, Activity 7. And this activity is where you'll see it sort of all come together, because this is where you begin planning what you're going to do after you've identified the needs. Okay, so let's review a little bit. Let's review the activities. So from the beginning, you have been researching, and it started with your own assumptions about what you know about the population. And some of those may have been proven correct now, or some of them may have been proven wrong now. But at this point, you have a good idea, better idea, based on the facts of whether your assumptions were correct or not from Activity 1. You've conducted a windshield survey. You have done some asset mapping to find out what the assets are in the community, what maybe some of the gaps are in the community, what's actually happening in this community, what it looks like, who lives there. You've also talked to people within the community who work at the various human service organizations, and you have looked up public service announcements that are interesting for you, and you've educated the class on some of those things, which is helpful to them as social workers. And you've discovered along the way a lot of skills to use in the various chapters. You've discovered how to do a community assessment. And so at this point, you're ready to be an advocate for the particular group that you've been researching. So as an advocate, you're going to come up with something, some way to solve some of the issues that you've identified. So in the last activity, the identifying major findings actually is where this comes, is that you would find that these are the areas where the clients are in most need. Or here's the identifiable, unidentifiable, unmet needs. Okay, here are the unmet needs, and here's how we plan to meet those needs. Okay, let's look here. Okay, in advocacy, you are going to read Chapter 11 in its entirety before you complete this activity. And then in one page, double space, identify, describe the population. In 2 pages, you have described, after you've described 2 existing interventions, develop a method of advocacy. This is greatly going to help you in the written assignment. Okay? That's activity 4, sorry. Let me do this. It's easier to look at when we see it like this. Be sure to include every single person that's in your group that's been participating up until now, that's participating in this particular project. Include them on the list and answer these questions. You cannot do this activity before you've done all of the other 6 activities. So complete those first, and then you can come to this one. Okay? And it's actually Activity 7. There are some places where it says Activity 8, and I'll change that before you start the class. I'll have that all adjusted, so don't be confused by that. Okay, that's Activity 7, and now I'm going to move on and talk about the other thing that is in this particular area. So the self-assessment is an area where you will assess the document that you and your group, or you by yourself, plan to turn in. So at this point, you may still be midway through the process, or part of the way through the process. That's okay. What I'd like for you to do is to assess all of the areas that you and your group have already completed up until this point, and complete this. Every person needs to fill this out. This is not a group assignment. Every single person needs to fill this out for the paper. So you're going to take the document that you plan to turn in or that you all have been working on, and you're going to complete this self-assessment. Okay? You're going to provide scores in each area and be very honest and very detailed about this. Did you answer this in a way that will get you a good grade? Okay? So look at it closely, provide the self-assessment. This assignment is do or do not. Okay? This assignment is you either get a 0 or 100. Okay? So, or 100. If you get a 0, that means you didn't complete the assignment. If you get 100, it means you did do the assignment. So in order to get that, you need to thoroughly complete the self-assessment. And then the next thing will be to turn in the paper, right? Okay. So the paper is due Monday, the 30th of July. And sometimes the dates are incorrect. So if you see something that doesn't look right, let me know and we can adjust that. But for this part, it says that it is due Monday, July the 30th. And that will give us time Oh, that's wrong. Okay. I'm sorry. The self-assessment is due July the 30th. The actual community assessment, the written version of the community assessment, is due August 9th. Sorry for that. Okay. I knew there was I was looking at something wrong. But so the self-assessment is due July 30th. That'll give you time to go back and make any corrections, additions, whatever you need to do to get that community assessment up to standard. It may mean going back and doing more research, getting more data. It may mean covering more areas, something. But you need to be sure that that you're on the right track, and the self-assessment does that. The other thing is, I am available to answer questions about any of these activities or any of these assignments. We can Skype as a group. We can do phone conferencing. We can meet in my office. So let me know, and if we need to meet, we will. But I wish you the best of luck on this project, and I know you're going to do great.